In this section, we're going to cover the water cycle. The water cycle shows the processes through which the water circulates, moving through the Earth's oceans, atmosphere, and surface. The energy that drives most of the water cycle comes from the sun. So we can see an image here demonstrating the water cycle as water moves from oceans, lakes, streams into clouds. It can condense into clouds and then fall back to the earth via some form of precipitation. And then the cycle repeats itself. Processes in the water cycle show the movement of water and include the following. Evaporation is when water changes state from a liquid to a gas, the main process by which water enters the atmosphere. Condensation is when water changes state from a gas to a liquid in the atmosphere. Clouds form due to condensation. Precipitation is the release of water from clouds in various forms. We'll discuss types of precipitation on the next page. Runoff is the movement of water, typically after precipitation, along the surface. Infiltration is the movement of that water into the ground, and transpiration is water released as a gas from trees and plants directly into the atmosphere. Here are some forms of precipitation. Rain is liquid water falling from the sky. Freezing rain is rain that falls through a thin, cold layer of air such that it freezes as it comes into contact with the surface. Sleet is rain that falls through a thicker, cold layer of air such that it freezes as it falls. Hail is similar to sleet. Hail is rain that has frozen in the air, but high winds blow back upward in the clouds, allowing it to grow bigger. And snow forms when the temperature of the cloud is below freezing. So where is the water? Let's look at this total global water. 96.5% of our global water supply is in oceans, and an additional 0.9% is other salinated water, so saltwater sources. 2.5% of the global water supply is fresh water. Let's zoom in on this fresh water. 2.5% of that 2.5%, 68.7% is in glaciers and ice caps. 30.1% is in groundwater, and 1.2% is surface and other freshwater sources. Of that 1.2%, almost 70% of it, 69%, is ground ice and permafrost. 20.9% of it is in lakes, and then you can see smaller percentages in soil moisture, swamps and marshes, rivers, living things, and then 3% in the atmosphere. Most of the Earth's water, 96.5%, is found in the oceans. Although most ocean water is not polluted, it is also not potable or drinkable, and in general, it cannot be used for farming. Almost 70% of the Earth's fresh water is trapped as ice in the polar ice caps and glaciers. About 30% of the Earth's fresh water is found as groundwater, stored underground in cracks and spaces in rocks, sand, and soil. Only about 1% of the Earth's fresh water is found as surface water in rivers and lakes.